decades, a mysterious beast known as the Chupacabra has allegedly been prowling the American Southwest and sucking the blood of livestock. Few cryptids are as storied and as fearsome as the dreaded Chupacabra, a blood-sucking creature allegedly the size of a small bear, sometimes with a tail, often covered in scaly skin and with a row of spikes down its back. The Chupacabra has been a staple in folklore throughout Mexico, Puerto Rico, and the southwestern United States for decades. Named after the first animals they were reported to have killed and drained in 1995, Chupacabra literally means goat sucker in Spanish. The bloodthirsty creature supposedly moved on to chickens, sheep, rabbits, cats, and dogs. Hundreds of farm animals were ending up dead and bloodless, and people had no idea why. Number 5. My Encounter with the Chupacabra, from Hugo L. Traveling along Route 3 in the eastern part of Puerto Rico, I noticed there was something in the air that was not normal. It was fall break, and having spent almost an entire October week in Puerto Rico was definitely better than staying in New Jersey working on my junior paper. Anyways, it was nighttime. I was watching the news and saw the Danita. They were interviewing a lady who was complaining to the authorities that her chickens and goats had been found dead and without blood inside. The Danita was there behind her, and in the background I noticed husks, but not much blood or mess. The next day, the Chupacabra was all over the news. It had sucked blood from many animals on the East Coast. That night, Snoopy, my dog, started barking. Maybe I was thinking too much about all of this Chupacabra stuff, but I was leery. I should have gone to sleep, but I had to see what he was barking at. At the neighbor's chicken's den, I saw something move suddenly, and all the chickens fell silent. It was similar to the kind of silence you hear at cocktail parties when one of the people tapped their glass before making a toast. It was there, like they had described it. Thank God I was looking from a window. It stared at me. I could not move. It was like one of those nightmares where you want to scream, and at the moment when you open your mouth, nothing comes out. At that exact moment, it ran away. Number 4. Houston, Texas sighting. A man spotted an unusual creature wandering around Houston's West Side corridor. The animal hasn't been definitely identified, but some say it resembles the legendary, albeit mythical, Chupacabra. The photo of this animal was taken on Richmond, near Highway 6 behind the Shell facility, according to the viewer who spotted it. While it's most likely a dog suffering from mange or potentially a coyote, it would certainly seem to resemble the mythical blood-sucking creature. Literally translated in English as goat sucker, the legend of the Chupacabra has terrorized rural communities throughout the Americas for decades. The beast, described as resembling a small bear or dog-like animal with a row of spines extending from the neck to the base of its tail, has been said to be spotted in Puerto Rico, Mexico, and throughout the United States. Number 3. Bloodsucker. A blood-sucking alien predator is ravaging animals throughout the Puerto Rican countryside, or so say this town's mayor and scores of uneasy rural dwellers. Marcel Negron, a 25-year-old college student, is one of 15 Canavana's residents who say they have had a close encounter with the beast known here as the Chupacabras, or in its literal English translation, goat sucker. I was looking off the balcony one night, and I saw it step out of a bright light in the backyard, Negron said. It was about 3 or 4 foot tall, with skin like that of a dinosaur. It had bright red eyes the size of hen's eggs, long fangs, and multicolored spikes down its head and back. True to its name, the creature attacked the family goat, said Negron, draining the blood from its neck and disemboweling the animal. Tales of bloodthirsty monsters have grasped the collective jugular of this U.S. island commonwealth in the past, but none has left a tangible trail of carnage as extensive as the Chupacabra, which by some estimates have already caused 1,000 animal deaths and terrorized the local inhabitants. This is not a joke, said Canavana's mayor Jose O. Soto. A number of my constituents have lost animals in the past few months. We're taking it very seriously because it's killing animals right now, but people could be next. Number 2. Riverside Mauler. On a foggy morning more than a week ago, Carrie Shuker's cat raced inside his Riverside home, terrified of something outside. This thing was standing out there looking at me, said Shuker, a private contractor who lives at the base of Box Springs Mountain, which divides Moreno Valley and Riverside. It was the ugliest looking thing. Shuker said the hairless creature glaring at him about 80 or 90 feet away had a tail like a rat or a possum with rippled pinkish skin, teeth jutting both up and down out of its jaws, and was at least 2 feet or longer than the biggest coyote he'd ever seen. Number 1. Bloodlusted Legend. In South Texas, its frightening name resurfaces in the news every few months, especially after another neighborhood pet or farm animal mysteriously dies. El Chupacabra, they say, is back. Parents are cautious, warning their children to stay inside at night or risk a face-to-face encounter with the Chupacabra, a red-eyed, spiky-haired, blood-sucking creature with a green-blue tint to its hide. The Chupacabra haunts the minds of the residents in La Frontera, the U.S.-Mexico borderlands. Rumored to be originally of Puerto Rican folklore, the Chupacabra and its range spread to Central America in the 80s and 90s and has moved northward through Mexico and Texas, where it has quickly been embraced and has lately been portrayed in artwork and film. People have had encounters with mysterious creatures throughout history. Their stories are brought to life by people who have encountered chupacabras or other cryptids. The surprising details of the eyewitness accounts might lead you to the question, are chupacabras real? You be the judge.